At 50 and beyond, time stops lying to you. Your body speaks honestly. Your habits reveal their cost, and every wasted day becomes louder than the last. This is not a curse, this is a gift, because now illusions fall away. You no longer need to prove yourself to anyone. You no longer need to chase noise, approval, or empty comfort. What remains is simple, sharp, and powerful choice. Too many people believe life shrinks after 50, that strength fades, that purpose expires, that discipline no
longer matters. That belief is weakness disguised as wisdom. Look closer. At this age, you have something the young do not experience: scars, patience, and perspective. You know what pain feels like. You know the price of laziness. You know how fast years disappear. So why are you still negotiating with excuses? Why do you wake up tired, eat without care, move without purpose, and tell yourself it's too late? It is not too late, but it is later than you think. Your body is not
broken, it is waiting for leadership. Your mind is not slow, it is undisciplined. Your spirit is not dead, it is starved. Discipline after 50 is not about ego, it is about dignity. Train your body not to impress others, but to respect yourself. Control what you eat, not for pleasure, but for clarity. Wake up early, not to suffer, but to win the day before the world distracts you. Comfort will quietly kill the rest of your life. Routine will save it. Every day you delay, your future self becomes weaker. Every day you act, your future self becomes dangerous in the best way. You do not need motivation, you need a decision. Decide to move when you don't feel like it. Decide to say no to what weakens you. Decide to live like your remaining years actually matter. Because one day, very soon, you will look back at this moment, and you will either thank yourself or regret that you chose comfort over courage. So stand up today. Clean your life, train your body, sharpen your mind. Live with intention. After 50, your body becomes a mirror. It reflects every decision you've made, every shortcut you took, every excuse you allowed to settle in. This is not punishment, it is feedback. And feedback, if you are honest, is one of the most valuable tools you can receive. Your joints may feel stiff, your energy lower, your recovery slower, but this is not decline by default. This is your body asking for structure, not sympathy. When you were younger, you could abuse your body and get away with it. Late nights, careless eating, long periods of inactivity. There was always a reset button. After 50, that button disappears. What replaces it is responsibility. Movement is no longer optional. Strength is no longer cosmetic. Flexibility is no longer a luxury. They become the foundation of your independence. Training your body now is not about chasing youth. It is about preserving capability. The ability to get up from the floor without help. The ability to carry your own weight, to breathe deeply, to walk without pain, to stand tall instead of folding inward. Weakness makes life smaller. Strength keeps your world open. Every time you choose not to move, your body learns decay, muscles shrink, bones lose density, balance fades, and once lost, these things do not return easily. But when you move with intention, slowly, consistently, with respect, your body responds, it adapts, it remembers, it becomes reliable again. Discipline here is quiet. It is not loud motivation or dramatic transformation. It is showing up on days when nothing hurts and on days when everything does. It is stretching when you'd rather sit. It is lifting light weights with perfect control instead of heavy weights with ego. It is walking daily, breathing deeply, standing correctly, and correcting bad posture you've ignored for decades. Pain is not the enemy. Neglect is. There is a difference between discomfort that builds you and discomfort that breaks you. Learning to listen to your body is a skill. Pushing blindly is foolish. Avoiding effort is just as dangerous. The middle path is mastery. When you train your body after 50, your mind follows. Confidence returns, not the loud kind, but the grounded kind. You trust yourself again. You stop feeling fragile. You stop moving like the world might knock you over. Your posture changes. Your presence changes. People feel it before you say a word. This is not about becoming exceptional. It is about refusing to become dependent, refusing to surrender your autonomy one lazy year at a time. Your body is the vehicle through which you experience the rest of your life. Treat it like it still has a long road ahead, because it does, if you decide to take care of it. After 50, food stops being entertainment and starts being information. Every meal sends a message to your body, and your body responds honestly. Energy or fatigue, clarity or fog, strength or inflammation. You no longer have the luxury of eating without consequence. What you consume today shows up tomorrow in your joints, your mood, your sleep, and your focus. Most people are not hungry. They are conditioned. Conditioned by habits built over decades, by convenience, by emotional eating disguised as reward. After 50, this conditioning becomes visible, weight clings, digestion slows, blood sugar swings harder, and instead of adjusting, people complain. Complaining changes nothing, awareness changes everything. Eating well at this stage is not about restriction, it is about precision. You don't eat less to punish yourself, you eat better to support yourself. The body no longer tolerates excess sugar, refined carbs, and constant snacking without rebellion. Inflammation becomes louder, recovery becomes slower, mental sharpness dulls. This is not aging, it is friction between poor input and a wiser system. Control begins with simplicity. Fewer ingredients, real food, food you can recognize, chew and digest without confusion. Protein to preserve muscle, vegetables to reduce inflammation, healthy fats to support hormones and the brain. Water instead of constant stimulation disguised as drinks. This is not discipline for appearance, it is discipline for function. Timing matters now. Late night eating disrupts sleep. Heavy meals drain energy. Eating without awareness leads to overeating before you even realize it. When you slow down, chew properly, and stop eating before you are full, your body thanks you with lightness instead of regret. There is also an emotional layer. Many people use food to soften boredom, loneliness, stress, or disappointment. After 50, these emotions often surface more clearly. Using food to silence them only creates another problem to carry. Learning to sit with discomfort instead of numbing it builds inner strength. Hunger passes, cravings fade, self-respect grows. When you clean up your eating, your mind sharpens, you think clearer, you react less, you stop riding energy spikes and crashes. Decisions become easier. Discipline in food creates discipline everywhere else. You stop feeling controlled by impulses and start feeling in command. This is not about perfection, it is about consistency. One clean meal does not change your life, repeated clean choices do. Your body is always listening, it adapts to what you repeatedly give it. Feed it chaos, and it becomes chaotic. Feed it order, and it becomes stable. Food after 50 should support longevity, not momentary pleasure. Pleasure fades quickly. The cost lingers. When you eat with intention, you reclaim control over one of the most powerful levers of your health, your mood, and your mental clarity. After 50, time becomes either your greatest ally or your most ruthless enemy. The difference is how you structure your days. Without structure, time leaks away through distraction, comfort, and routines that slowly drain your vitality. With structure, time becomes sharp, focused, purposeful. Every hour has weight. Waking up early is not about punishment. It is about sovereignty. Before the world demands your attention, before noise, messages, and obligations pull you in different directions, there is a window of silence. In that silence, your mind is clear, your will is strongest, and your identity is yours. Those early hours shape the rest of the day. Most people let the day attack them. They wake up late, react immediately, scroll, rush, and spend the rest of the day trying to catch up. After 50, this chaos costs more. Stress lingers longer. Recovery takes time. Mental fatigue compounds. A calm, intentional start becomes essential. Routine is not a cage, it is a container. It removes unnecessary decisions so your energy can be used where it matters. When you wake at the same time, move your body, breathe deeply, and organize your priorities before distractions enter, you create momentum. Momentum reduces resistance. Resistance is what exhausts you. Discipline in the morning strengthens discipline everywhere else. When you keep promises to yourself early, your self-trust grows. You stop negotiating with weakness, you stop asking how you feel and start acting based on what you decided. This builds quiet confidence. Mental clarity after 50 does not come from motivation, it comes from order. Writing your thoughts down, reviewing your goals, planning your tasks, these simple acts prevent mental clutter from piling up. A cluttered mind creates anxiety, a clear plan creates calm. Your environment also matters. Recovery improves. The next day begins with strength instead of fatigue. This level of structure is not rigid, it is respectful. It acknowledges that energy is no longer endless and must be used wisely. You stop scattering your attention on things that do not matter. You stop saying yes out of habit. You choose what deserves your time. Living this way after 50 creates a sense of control. Many people believe they've lost. You no longer feel carried by circumstances. You feel anchored, grounded. A messy space drains focus. Constant noise fragments attention. After 50, your nervous system is less tolerant of chaos. Creating simplicity around you is not indulgence, it is maintenance. Fewer distractions mean deeper presence. Deeper presence makes even simple tasks meaningful. Evenings matter as much as mornings. When you end the day intentionally, you protect the next one. Limiting screens, eating earlier and preparing for the next morning signals your body to rest. Sleep becomes deeper. Intentional. Each day becomes a deliberate step instead of an accidental drift. After 50, the real battle is no longer outside of you. It is internal. It is the quiet conversation you have with yourself when no one is watching. The voice that tells you to delay, to soften standards, to accept less because you have earned rest. This voice sounds reasonable. It uses experience as justification, but left unchecked, it slowly lowers the ceiling of your life. Decisions now carry more weight. You can no longer afford indecision. Every time you hesitate, you leak energy. Every time you avoid a hard choice, the mind learns avoidance. Clarity is strength. When you decide once and act daily, you free yourself from constant negotiation. Negotiation is exhausting. Commitment is calming. Saying no becomes a form of self-respect. No to habits that drain you. No to people who thrive on chaos. No to commitments that add stress but no meaning. After 50, your time is too valuable to be spent managing what you should have refused. Each no protects a yes that actually matters. The mind must be trained like the body. Left unattended, it grows weak, reactive and fearful. It clings to familiarity, even when familiarity is harmful. Discipline of the mind means choosing thought over impulse, pausing before reacting, observing emotions without being ruled by them. This creates space between stimulus and response, and in that space lies freedom. Regret is heavy, but it is also honest. Instead of running from it, study it. Regret reveals where you abandoned yourself, where you chose comfort over courage, where you stayed silent instead of acting. Use that knowledge. Let it sharpen your judgment instead of dulling your spirit. Purpose after 50 is not about ambition in the traditional sense. It is about alignment. Doing fewer things but doing them fully. Acting in a way that matches your values. When actions and values align, mental noise fades. You stop feeling divided. You move with direction. This also means releasing identities that no longer fit. You are not who you were at 30. Clinging to old roles, old labels, or old victories traps you in the past. Growth requires letting go, not with bitterness but with gratitude. What brought you here will not take you forward. Mental toughness now is quiet and steady. It is waking up and doing what needs to be done without drama. It is staying consistent when results are slow. It is choosing long-term respect over short-term relief. This kind of strength does not announce itself, it shows in how you live. When the mind is disciplined, fear loses its grip. Fear thrives in disorder. Order exposes it. You begin to see fear for what it is, a signal, not a command. You can acknowledge it without obeying it. That alone changes how you move through the world. This inner authority changes everything. You stop outsourcing your direction. You stop waiting for permission, approval, or perfect conditions. You act from principle, not mood. Over time, this builds a deep sense of stability, a calm certainty that does not depend on external validation. After 50, the illusion of unlimited time is gone, and what replaces it is urgency. Not panic, not desperation, but a clear awareness that days are no longer abundant. This awareness can either paralyze you or sharpen you. Most people choose distraction because facing urgency demands action. Action exposes responsibility, and responsibility removes excuses. Waiting becomes dangerous at this stage. Waiting for motivation, for perfect conditions, for clarity, for confidence. These things do not arrive on their own, they are built through movement. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. Each small step forward reduces doubt and replaces it with evidence that you are still capable. Purpose now is not about chasing recognition, it is about contribution. What you give, what you pass on, what you build that extends beyond you. After 50, life asks a different question. Not what can I get, but what can I offer? Skills, wisdom, patience, leadership. These are assets earned through time. If unused, they decay. Inaction slowly erodes self-respect. You feel it when days blur together, when conversations repeat, when routines lack meaning. The mind knows when you are withholding effort. It knows when you are playing small. That quiet dissatisfaction is not a flaw. It is a signal calling you forward. Action does not have to be dramatic. It has to be deliberate. Teaching someone, starting something you've postponed for years, speaking honestly instead of staying silent, creating instead of consuming. These actions restore a sense of agency that many believe is lost with age. Fear will still be present. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of starting over. But fear after 50 is familiar. You have survived worse than uncertainty. What you fear now is not the outcome, it is the reminder that you waited too long. Acting dissolves that fear faster than thinking ever will. Legacy is built quietly, daily, through consistent choices. It is reflected in how you treat your body, how you manage your time, how you speak, how you show up for others. Legacy is not what people say at the end. It is what they experience while you are still here. This stage of life offers a rare advantage, freedom from illusion. You know what matters and what doesn't. You see through nonsense faster. You waste less energy on proving yourself. When you combine this clarity with action, progress accelerates. Stagnation is a choice even if it doesn't feel like one. Growth is also a choice, but it demands courage. Courage now is not loud or reckless, it is steady. It is deciding each morning that you will not drift, that you will engage with life instead of observing it from the sidelines. Momentum builds quickly when action becomes non-negotiable. One decision leads to another. Confidence follows movement, meaning follows contribution, and the days stop feeling empty because they are filled with intention, effort, and presence. After 50, dignity becomes more important than comfort. You begin to see the difference between rest that restores and comfort that weakens. Comfort asks nothing of you. It invites you to stay exactly where you are, to repeat the same patterns, to choose ease over effort. Over time, this choice quietly erodes your standards, your posture, your self-respect. Comfort is seductive because it feels harmless, skipping movement, eating whatever is convenient, avoiding difficult conversations, saying I deserve this when what you really need is discipline. These small decisions compound, not immediately, but inevitably. What begins as ease becomes limitation. Effort, on the other hand, refines you. It sharpens your awareness. It keeps you engaged with life. After 50, effort is no longer about pushing recklessly. It is about showing up consistently. Choosing the harder right over the easier wrong. This kind of effort preserves your edge. Courage at this stage is subtle. It is not about dramatic risks or bold displays. It is about honesty, honest self-assessment, honest routines, honest boundaries. It takes courage to admit where you have become soft, where you've been avoiding responsibility, where you've been numbing instead of growing. Standards matter now, more than ever. How you speak, how you carry yourself, how you respond under pressure. Lower standards feel like relief in the moment, but they create internal conflict. You feel it when your actions no longer match your values. Raising standards restores alignment. Choosing discipline over comfort does not mean rejecting joy. It means redefining it. Real satisfaction comes from progress, not indulgence. From knowing you did what needed to be done, even when no one was watching. This creates a deeper, quieter happiness that does not depend on stimulation. Many people confuse aging with surrender. They mistake slowing down for giving up, but slowing down can be strategic, it can be deliberate. What must never slow down is your intention. When intention fades, comfort takes over. After 50, the body and mind respond strongly to consistency. When you commit to daily effort, movement, learning, reflection, you create stability. Stability breeds confidence. Confidence reduces fear. Fear is what drives most people into comfort in the first place. Choosing effort also changes how others perceive you. Not because you seek approval, but because presence is felt. People sense when someone lives with standards. It commands respect without demand. This presence influences without force. Discomfort becomes a teacher. It shows you where growth still exists. Instead of avoiding it, you learn to approach it with curiosity. What is this discomfort asking of me? What strength is it trying to develop? This mindset transforms obstacles into training. Comfort will always be available. It requires no commitment and offers no return. Discipline asks more, but it gives back control, clarity, and self-respect. After 50, these are not optional luxuries. They are the foundation of a life lived upright, intentional, and awake.